me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Love is my source. Love is my power. Love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Love gives me everything I need. Joy is my source. Joy is my power. Joy gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Joy gives me everything I need. Peace is my source. Peace is my power. Peace gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Peace gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Oh, God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything and every little thing that I need. And I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. Oh, God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything, every little thing I need. God gives me. Here I am, a woman. I know it's hard for you to understand. My way of seeing, being so different from a man. My way looks softer, but let me offer the best explanation I can. If I'm afraid, doesn't mean that I'm not brave. And if I doubt, doesn't mean that I've lost faith. And if I fall,
Good morning. Welcome to Unity Columbine Spiritual Center, where centered in God, we celebrate a world of harmony, peace, and abundance for all. One of our abundances today is to have Seth Larson with us. Thank you so much. Let's stand for our first joy song.
Are you ready? We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Deep in my heart, I know that I do believe we shall overcome someday. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand someday. Deep in my heart, I know that I do believe we'll walk hand in hand someday. We shall live in peace. We shall live in peace. We shall live in peace. We shall live in peace someday. Deep in my heart, I know that I do believe we shall live in peace someday. We are not afraid. We are not afraid. We are not afraid. We are not afraid today. Deep in my heart, I know that I do believe we are not afraid today. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Deep in my heart, I know that I do believe we shall overcome someday. That's beautiful. Welcome.
One of the reasons we shall overcome is the children. Come on up. This is our time to honor the children, and they have a little something special to share with us today. Come on up.
There's more.
Okay, let me stand in between you guys. All right, we are still coming, waving our palm fronds. Yay. Good morning, Columbine.
Morning.
Yay. And some of them are in the back waving, which is okay too. It's all good. Hi, Gwen. Nice. So,
Maybe
Reverend.
let's just sit down for a moment. If everybody want to sit down with me. Why do we have palms today, everybody? What's today? Yeah, Marley. Palm Sunday. I'm asking the kids. I hear the adults. You get an A+. Let's put up that first slide. So what is Palm Sunday? Why do we call it Palm Sunday? Because you get palms? What other reason is it called Palm Sunday? Does anyone know? Well, look at the screen up there. Jesus is riding. Do you know?
Maybe Jesus?
Baby Jesus. Well, grown Jesus, adult Jesus. Yeah, adult Jesus is riding a donkey into Jerusalem, and all the people throw palms, and they're waving palms, and they put palms on the ground. Did you see the palms on the sidewalk when you came in? That's to keep the dust off of them, and it's also a sign of honor to that when kings came into the town. What's the next? Let's go to the next slide. So, what are those? What kind of trees are those? Palm trees. Palm trees. And let's go to the next one. And so palm trees represent strength. Do you know why that might be?
Does anyone know, you guys? Why does a palm tree represent strength? Anybody? Because the roots are really strong.
The roots are really strong, yeah. And what happens? You see the picture up there? What'd she say?
Because they can survive in hurricanes?
Yeah. Because you see the picture up there with the storm? They don't fall over, they bend. So they're really flexible and resilient, and so they represent strength. Are you guys strong?
Are you guys strong?
Yeah. How do you show your strength? You show your strength, you show your muscles. Kitty muscles. Well, you guys gonna be talking about that, right, Jeannie?
We are. So thank you, Reverend Sue. That was awesome to have some visuals on that too. So we're going to go down today and really discover more about what Palm Sunday is. And our middle school group is going to be meeting with the YOU with Kristen today. So you guys, when we head down, I'll show you which room. So you can bless us out.
We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. We see the Christ you are.
Let's sing. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. No more living in fear, I'm gonna let it shine. No more living in fear, we're gonna let it shine. No more living in fear, we're gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Now we settle ourselves for prayer and meditation, and Seth will give us a little bit of music to lead us into that, and then one of our prayer chaplains, Brooke Lindquist, will lead us in prayer and silent meditation.
Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Shivaya. Shiva.
Let's all just take a nice deep breath in and exhale, let it out. And as we breathe in one more time, we tap into that inner strength, that strength of the palm tree, allowing for that flexibility and that strength, that inner knowing. We journey into peace today, into our inner peace, tapping into our self, our true self, the core that is our love. And as we do, we know that in order to find true inner peace, we need to release. We need to release that which no longer serves us, whether it's self-judgment or resentments, anger, whatever it is. We know that our true self is love. And so as we hold on to that strength of the palm tree, that flexibility, we know that that allows us to come back to our inner peace. And so we pray that Spirit within allows us to tap into our love and find that within, connecting us to our community, to ourselves, finding gratitude for all of those around us, for the beauty that is around and within, for who we are, and for who we know we can be, and for the peace that is within us. We reach out to all those in our prayer box and on our prayer list, and we send out love and peace to all of them. And we just surround them in the love and light that we have in our hearts. And with this, we hold some time for silent meditation.
Follow the sun, which way the wind blows. This day is done. And breathe in the air. Cherish this moment. Cherish this breath. Tomorrow's a new day for everyone. Brand new moon, brand new sun. So follow the sun, the direction of the birds, the direction of love. And breathe in the air. Set your intention. Dream with care. Tomorrow's a new day for everyone. Brand new moon, brand new sun. When you feel life coming down on you like a heavy weight, when you feel this crazy society adding to the strain, take a stroll to the nearest water's edge. Remember your place. Many moons have arisen and fallen long before you came. So which way's the wind blowing? What does your heart say? And follow the sun, which way the wind blows. This day is done. And breathe in the air. Cherish this moment. Cherish this breath. Tomorrow's a new day for everyone. Brand new moon, brand new sun. Oh, tomorrow's a new day for everyone. Brand new moon, brand new sun.
Thank you, Seth. It's so great to have you back. I love that song. It's so beautiful. So, going back to the little light of mine, there's a little girl got home from Sunday school, and she had been taught in Sunday school Matthew 5, verse 16, which says, "Let your light shine so before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven." And she said, "Mom, what does that mean?" And her mom says, "Well, honey, that means that when you're good and kind and thoughtful, you should let people see that you're letting your light shine so that they know who you are." The very next week in Sunday school, the girl caused quite a ruckus, and it was such an uproar that the Sunday school teacher had to come in and get her mom. Mom goes and says, "Honey, what happened? I thought you were going to let your light shine." And she said, "Mom, I blowed myself out." Oh, how many of us blow ourselves out regularly? It's so easy to do because life happens. Stuff happens. And it's much easier, instead of letting our light shine, to complain or be a victim or, not stay in that looking for the blessing part of the message. Yesterday, when I was running around Sloan's Lake, I was coming up to this part with a park, and there was a whole bunch of people, and they were all like facing me, but they were all looking up. And so I just yelled out, "What y'all looking at?" And they said, "Bald eagle, bald eagle." And there's often a bald eagle that lives in the Sloan's Lake area, and we see them up in the trees. And so I turned around and looked, and sure enough, there's a bald eagle. And what does that mean? The symbol of a bald eagle is strength and freedom and courage, not unlike the palm leaves. And when one crosses your path, and the Native American say that means that you should go for it. And I'm thinking, well, what am I supposed to be going for? I'm like working on my talk while I'm running. It's always a process, but there must be something in there. I don't know what it is, but maybe it'll happen. Maybe it'll come to me while I'm speaking. Palm Sunday. I love Palm Sunday because of the symbolism of Palm Sunday and the metaphysics of the messages, and things are heating up. Up to this point, Jesus has been teaching mostly outside the city of Jerusalem. He's been in the outskirts, in the rural areas, but he recognizes that he needs to move forward. That it's time for him to go to Jerusalem. Probably has a sense of what's going to happen to him when he does. He's heard the rumors. He knows there are people that aren't too happy with what he's been saying, but he knows it's time. Now, just before this moment at Palm Sunday, where he goes to Jerusalem, he has raised Lazarus from the dead, it says in the Gospel according to John. And he has allowed lots of people to see him do this. And it has scared and frightened the Pharisees and the high priests, and they are afraid of what's going to happen. All these people, all these Jews are heading to Jerusalem for the Passover, and they're afraid that Jesus is going to do something or say something that's going to cause an uproar and make it worse for the Jews with the Romans. They don't believe he was the Messiah that the people were waiting for. I just read this yesterday, and I just love this. All my life, I've always thought of Messiah as a person that's going to come, right? Eric Butterworth writes this: the Messiah was not a person that would come, but a state of consciousness that would be awakened within all persons, each one individually. Doesn't that make so much more sense? That we are to be awakened to a new state of consciousness. The people didn't understand this. They didn't understand Jesus at all. They kept waiting for a Messiah. They kept thinking that he was the Messiah, his disciples at least, he was the Messiah that was going to overthrow the Romans, that he was going to take charge and be in rule. They kept waiting for Jesus to do something, to show himself. They saw him as the exception, as most Christians do today, the exception, not the example that we teach in Unity. The example of how to live a spiritual life, the example of how to take all this inner power that we have and use it for our good. How to allow ourselves to be in knowing, to know that the kingdom of God is within each one of us. And Jesus knew it wasn't just in him. It was in everyone, and he kept trying to teach that, and the people just didn't get it, that we are divine. So Jesus decides that it's time to go to Jerusalem, and he knows what's coming. And all these Jews are coming there. And Jesus, he enters from the east. And Pontius Pilate, who's the governor, Roman governor, is also coming to Jerusalem because it's Passover. He needs to come in and make sure that there's no uproars in Jerusalem, in the city. And so Pontius Pilate's coming in from the west on a big war horse with all these soldiers with him. It's like a military parade to intimidate anyone that might cause a problem during Passover. Jesus is coming in from the east, a peaceful parade on a donkey. Way different than Pontius Pilate, way different. Jesus entered the opposite end of the city, and in an opposite manner. All four Gospels in the Christian scriptures share this story. A lot of the stories are not in all four Gospels, but this one is. And this is according to the Gospel according to Mark. It says, when they were approaching Jerusalem, at Bethphage and Bethany, near the Mount of Olives, he sent 2 of his disciples and said to them, "Go into the village ahead of you, and immediately as you enter it, you will find tied there a colt that has never been ridden. Untie it and bring it. If anyone says to you, 'Why are you doing this?' just say, 'The Lord needs it, and will send it back here immediately.'" They went away and found a colt tied near a door outside in the street. As they were untying it, some of the bystanders said to them, "What are you doing untying the colt?" They told him that what Jesus had said, and they allowed them to take it. Then they brought the colt to Jesus and threw their cloaks on it, and he sat on it. Many people spread their cloaks on the road, and others spread leafy branches that they had cut in the fields. Then those who went ahead and those who followed were shouting, "Hosanna, blessed is the one who comes in the name of the Lord. Blessed is the coming kingdom of our ancestor David. Hosanna in the highest heaven." So let's break that down, because I love the symbolism of this. So Bethphage, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, in Bethany, near the Mountain of Olives, those towns represent or metaphysically interpret a place of unripe figs. Place of unripe figs. It's a place in consciousness where we haven't developed our self-dominion. And when we don't have our own power, when we don't have dominion over anything in our thoughts, we're in a place of lamenting. We're just in a place of wailing and sadness. And so these 2 towns represent that. Jerusalem represents a place of peace, a habitat of peace. And so going to Jerusalem, you're going to a place of peace. It's a journey to peace. The donkeys are thought to be peaceful creatures. They represent the human will, our ego. And what do we know about donkeys, especially a colt, a young donkey? Untamed, untrained, immature, stubborn, want to get their own way. Think about your own young 5-year-olds, if you have them at home, or your own young ego that wants its way, wants to be in charge, doesn't want to hear no. That's what the donkey represents. And so this is a colt that has never been ridden, so it's even more difficult to control. It's going to go all over the place. It's not going to go in a straight line to Jerusalem. But Jesus represents our I am consciousness, our divinity. We each have this within us, this Jesus in us. And when they put cloaks, or some scriptures say blankets, on top of the donkey before Jesus sits on it, that means blanking it in truth. Blanket your will in truth, your human will, your ego, your part of yourself that has negative thoughts. And you're gonna surround it in truth. And then your I am consciousness, your divinity, is going to sit on that donkey and take dominion over it, which means we take dominion over thoughts in our mind that aren't serving us. We can do this. We have the power to do this. It's called the power of power. It's one of our 12 powers that we teach in Unity. We take dominion over those thoughts that aren't serving us. Not always easy to do, but necessary to get to a place of peace. If we want to be in peace, we can't have a bunch of scattered thoughts. We need to focus and set an intention and go forward. The path is clear. And when we get there, it's cause for celebration. When we get to this place of peace, when we've taken dominion, there's celebration. The palms, they're waving the palms. They're throwing them on the ground. They did this for kings in ancient Jerusalem. It would be a sign of welcoming their king back. It would also keep the dust off the road for them. It was a celebration that we've set an intention, that we've followed our guidance, and not in a worldly power way, in an inner power. It's way different. And so Jesus has done this. Jesus has gone to Jerusalem, gone to peace, gone to this place of peace. But we need to ask ourselves, in which parade are we marching in our lives? What parade are we marching in? Are we in a military parade, a show of force, getting our way, intimidating? Are we in a peaceful parade where love is the answer, where love conquers all? It requires us to surrender to be in this peaceful place. It requires us to release. It requires us to give up control and let Spirit guide. The Spirit guide us. Let our own divinity guide us. It requires us to empty ourselves of needing to have our own way. Now, the disciples didn't get this. They traveled with him for 3 years and they didn't get it. I was watching The Chosen and season 4, and it's funny because James and John are brothers. And so we see a scene where they're with their parents, and their Jewish mother is saying, well, you should ask him. You should ask Jesus if you can sit on his right hand and his left hand when he comes into his kingdom. You want to be sitting next to him. You want to be right there next to the throne. And the Jewish mom is, telling, just ask him. Doesn't he say, ask and you shall receive? Well, ask. You're not going to receive if you don't ask. And so James and John finally get up the courage. You see them like struggling with this. They don't want to ask him. And they finally ask Jesus, can we sit on your right and your left hand when you come into your kingdom? And Jesus is like shaking his head, rolling his eyes. They don't get it. This is not a kingdom where you're going to sit on my left and my right, on my throne. There's no throne. So in the very final scene of The Chosen, season 4, You see the disciples go and get this colt. And they keep going from place to place trying to find one that hadn't been ridden yet. And they finally find one, and the guy says, "What are you doing with my colt? What are you doing? That's not your," And he says, "The Lord said that we should tell you it's for him." And they said, "Oh, it's for the Lord, of course." And so they take the colt, and they put the blankets on him, and Jesus sits on it and walks alone to Jerusalem. And the cut, end of season 4, like, no, I want more. But that's so, that is so life. That we're surrounded, he was surrounded by all his faculties, we have all our faculties with us all the time, all our spiritual powers, all of our abilities. But in the end, it's our journey. It's our journey, and we need to take it. And we need to set that intention. And then we need to find the courage and find the strength that's all within us. It's always there with us to travel to that place of peace. No matter what life is throwing us, we can find a place of peace. It doesn't always seem that way. But this story is a beautiful example of surrendering, of release, of standing in our power. Eric Butterworth says this about Palm Sunday: the entry into Jerusalem on that Palm Sunday was the supreme test of letting go, because he was not seeking to protect stand-up living, but to perfect a standard for living. He wasn't trying to seek to protect the law, to protect living by the law, the letter of the law, but instead a standard for living, the example of how we're going to live. This may be hard for us to understand in times that we might more often hear the cry, "What's in it for me? Why should I stick my neck out?" Any of us say that? I've said that. Yet here is one who was willing to lose his life so he could save it, in terms of his own awakening. He provided a well-lighted pathway through which we can find freedom and overcoming and a joyous standard for living. He was going on a premise that he proved to be spiritual principle, that the kingdom of heaven is within every person, that no matter what the trial, there is a triumph within it. No matter what the cross, there is a resurrection within it. There's an answer to every human problem. There's a fulfillment to every activity in human expression. Have you found this to be true in your life? There's always an answer to every problem before we even know the question. Do you believe it? That no matter what we face, no matter what challenges arise for us, and life will have challenges, no question, we don't get through this human experience without them, that there's an answer, that there's a blessing, that there's a message or a lesson for us. And it's always based in love. Always. Always. That's the powerful message of this story, too, of this whole Easter Holy Week story, that love wins in the end. We just need to take dominion and sit on our donkey. Take dominion, sit on your donkey. We have to be willing to let go of control. We have to be willing to surrender. That's the journey to peace. Take dominion of our thoughts. 7 years ago, can't believe it was 7 years ago, 2017, I was right up here talking on Palm Sunday, talking about how to sit on your donkey, how to ride a donkey. That was the message, how to ride a donkey. 2 days before, I had gotten a diagnosis of breast cancer, and I shared it with this community. It doesn't matter why things come up, why things happen, how did this happen to me, but how are we going to show up with it? Okay, we have a challenge. How do we want to be with it? How do we want to show up with it? What is mine to do? What is mine to be? What is mine to how do I guide through this? How do I work through this? Not looking back and saying, why? Why did this happen? Why did I get this? On Friday, we had a gong bath here. We had over 50 people. It was amazing. I have never been to a gong bath, and so I was really looking forward to it. And so we had everybody lying in foss hall or sitting in chairs, and we had to have our heads facing the gong. And I was lying there, and he started, and you feel the vibration of the gongs in your bone. You just feel it in your bones. And I noticed not too far in that my left side, my left arm was kind of numb. It was like tingling, like it was going to sleep. And so I kept moving it around, and I couldn't get the feeling back in it. It was just numb. And not my right arm at all, just my left arm. And so it kept going, and then we got to a little, maybe 2/3 of the way through. And the gongs got super, super loud. And it was like an angry loud. And I started crying, and it was such a profound experience for me. I started crying, and I started thinking about the things I needed to release. I needed to release self-doubt. I needed to release self-judgment. I needed to release self-hatred. And it was just a big release for me. It was like an angry release, like damn it, get out. And I remember I kept hearing the words in my head, be gone, be gone, be gone. G-O-N-E, not G-O-N-G. But that works too. And so I had to think about that after the thing went on, and then I noticed that my arm was not numb anymore. And so the meaning I'm giving that is that the left side of your body is the feminine side. It's the receptive side. And I'm not able to receive things if I'm holding a bunch of thoughts that are not serving me. If I'm holding self-doubt, if I'm holding self-judgment, I can't receive my good. And so that whole process, that whole gong bath was just a real profound experience for me, real awakening for me to let go on another level, because it's something that I continue to work with and release on another level. It was amazing how once I said, be gone, the arm wasn't numb anymore. The hand wasn't numb anymore. It was an emptying. It was an emptying. It was a release. I was blanketing my ego, my young ego, in truth and taking dominion. Taking dominion so I could get to a place of peace. We have free will. We can do this or not do this. It's always up to us. It's always our choice. We can sit on the donkey and take dominion or not. But wouldn't you want to get to a place of peace? The thoughts we hold make a big difference in the life we experience. That's a unity teaching. That's a unity principle. We get to choose. So make this week holy for yourself. Make this week holy. Take dominion. Recognize your inner power. Recognize your inner strength. Sit on your donkey and ride to peace. Ride to peace. You can do this. Namaste. Peace be with you.
I needed to hear that. I bet my wife would agree. So when considering songs to play today, my dad reminded me that it was going to be Palm Sunday, and so I did a quick scroll through my mental catalog of songs that might fit. And one popped in my mind that hadn't in quite some time. It's a song that I used to sing with my family in church when I was a kid. And the chorus went something like this. It was interesting because the words, some of the words that you quoted were in it. So it went, Hosanna, blessed be the rock, and may the God of our salvation be exalted. And something occurred to me. I have no idea what that means. And I'm pretty sure no one in my family does either. Because on occasion, to this day, someone in the family will blurt out, Hosanna, blessed be the duck. So we're not going to sing Blessed Be the Duck today. We're going to sing a song called Love is Alive. Normally I've got a band with me to sing the chorus, but as you can see, you all are the band today. So this is the chorus. I'll sing it once and maybe you can sing it back if you're feeling it. It goes like this. Love is all you ever really need. Go ahead and try. Love is all you ever really need. That's it. I see you walking all alone, pretending like you're talking on your telephone, and feeling scared to the bone that no one's gonna love you for the you that you know. Some people, they can be so mean, using words like a weapon in a crime scene, over and over and over again. That's why it's so good to have a good friend, somebody you can speak your mind to, somebody who ain't trying to define you or confine you, but only there to remind you of the light that you bring every day and every night to a world that needs it. You're the one that can lead, so lead it. And everyone will believe that love is alive, so let's feed it. 1, 2, 3. Love is all you ever really need. Love is all you ever really need. You got to feed the soul. That's why we got hip-hop and rock and roll. That's why we go dancing and lose control. It's why everybody came out to the show. It's why we wake up in the early morn just to catch a sunrise when the day is born. Or stay up at night after the sun goes down just to see the moonlight and the stars all around. It surrounds us every second, every hour, when it fills us up with the super love power of connection. It's perfection, like everybody moving in the same direction. Correction, it's more like flying. All together now, no need for trying. You need a hug, 'cause I'm supplying. Love is alive, no denying. 1, 2, 3. Love is all you ever really need. Love is all you ever really need. now I think it's time to drop a little away. The kind that makes you wanna let it go and celebrate. The kind that makes you wanna leave it out on the floor. The kind that makes you sweating as you're coming back for more. Cause everybody grooving and they're moving to the music, and they're doing what they're loving, so they're loving what they're doing. Everybody all around is having fun and getting down to Columbine and something underground. 1, 2, 3. And love is all you ever really need. Love is all you ever really need. Loud as you can go. Love is all you ever really need. One more time. Love is all you ever really need. Well done.
Isn't it amazing the power of one voice? One voice, and the quiet that you used today, just very powerful. Thank you so much. Thank you. And well done, band. Okay, let's start by saying our purpose statement together. We commit to increasing our spiritual awareness, diversifying our community, manifesting our highest potential, and positively impacting the world. And at this time in our service, the way that you can impact this community, which then impacts the greater community and the world, is through your financial largesse. So if you would please say with me our offering blessing. Started to flip back to the old days. God's love has always met and will always meet all my needs. I give freely, I receive abundantly, and I am grateful. And as the offering bags make their way through the sanctuary, please let's turn and give a wave to our online viewers. Hello there. Thank you for joining us, whether it's now or you're watching on replay. This technology is really, really helpful for us. And to those of you who are new here in the sanctuary, welcome. After our service, we usually move over to Foss Hall and have a fellowship time. So please join us there. We'd be happy to get to know you better. Let's jump into our announcements. Today is number 2 of the 4-part series of Unity Basics. So Reverend Sue will meet with you all in the conference room. And if you are interested in joining today and or for the future ones, just check with me in Foss Hall right after the service. And you'll start today at 11:45. Okay, so you have a little bit of time. And then on Thursday, we have a contemplative service starting at 5:30 here for Holy Thursday. And please join us and be prepared for foot washing if you are so inclined, if you feel comfortable joining us for that. That just helps us get started for the rest of the Easter season. And then on Easter, we have 2 services, 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. And I want to just make a quick note about the parking for that. We have been using the overflow parking, except last week when it was just a mud hole. So you can park next door, and all the directions for that have been in the email update for a few weeks, and also online as well. And so if you would, please, if you can, park next door and then walk across the bridge. That will help for people who are coming in maybe and don't know, aren't familiar with our parking situation, then they can come in and have a little bit more ease of space here. And the other thing about Easter is that after the 11 a.m. service, there'll be an egg hunt for the kiddos. So that will be happening. There'll be high energy with that, I'm sure. And then yes, we are going to show you a very brief video from Martha Creek. She's coming to join us in mid-April. So let's hear what Martha has to tell us.
This Holy Moments idea is so powerful to think about a single moment in which you open yourself to God. A single moment in which you open yourself to Creator, to Source, to Universe, whatever you name Creator. And you make yourself available to it. And for one moment, I do prayerfully what I believe God is calling me to do, what Source is directing me to do, what Creator is guiding me to do. In one holy moment, a true, albeit at times tiny, collaboration with God.
And we do not know what happened to the rest of this video. And yet, you're going to come and hear her in person, and then you'll get the rest of that message. So you'll see the date for that coming up. And Pat, would you wait 1 second? Pat Foss is at the back of the sanctuary, and I just wanted to say real briefly, she lives up in the mountains. She's been trapped up there with 50 inches of snow since that last snow, and she's back. And she was super excited because a box of Easter items for the bookstore, after how many weeks? 3.5, 4 weeks, got delivered yesterday. So take a little detour through the bookstore, would you, as you're headed to Foss Hall. The other thing about Easter that I wanted to mention is that we are looking for a couple more greeters. So please speak with me or with John Hopkins. John, would you put your hand up there? Yeah, speak with one of us, please, if you're available for that. And now, let us who are our prayer chaplains for today? Lydia and Deb, thank you so much. They'll be here to help you with any celebration or prayer support that you might need. And then now it's our time to stand for our peace song and our prayer for protection. And a big, big thank you to Seth for joining us today.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. The light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. So follow the sun, which way the wind blows. This day is done. cherish this breath. Oh, tomorrow's a new day for everyone. Oh, brand new moon, brand new sun. Oh, tomorrow's a new day for everyone.